Why are dogs the best animals to have? Dogs have been the best animals to have because they have been messengers, hunters, gatherers, herding dogs, a part of security/guarding, service dogs, been involved in royalty, and are just humans' best friend. Some benefits of owning a dog are love and companionship, feeling secure, unconditional love, acceptance, sense of purpose, a feeling of validation, and social and physical benefits from going on walks. During World War I, carrying messages was one of the important uses of dogs during this time. Telegraph and telephone lines were often cut by enemies. Dogs were better for carrying messages because dogs were faster and were smaller targets than humans. Not only did the dogs run long distance, but had to go through barbed wire and had to cross rivers. Dogs trained for that work were expected to travel to the destination and then return with a reply. To carry the message, the dog's collar was fitted with a little tube, and their unit affiliation was indicated by the color ribbon attached to their collars. The siege of Verdun lasted for almost 10 months, and both sides had a heavy death toll. The French quarters knew that the French was taking a turn for the worst, and they wanted to get a word to the soldiers and the townspeople in Verdun that more military units were being sent. A messenger dog named Satan was selected for the task. While he was running, Satan was hit and wounded by a German sharpshooter. Yet moments later, he staggered to his feet and continued at a slower pace. While getting shot in the leg, he kept on going. As he neared the French line, soldiers stepped out to pick him up and bring him to safety and to retrieve the message. After writing another message to the headquarters, a pigeon brought the note successfully back, and additional military reinforcements arrived in Verdun. Verdun was saved, and for Satan, a French hero. The Marine Corps Foundation presented Army Major Will Lyles of Texas with a service dog at Picatinny Arsenal, July 24th. Lyles, 33, served 2 tours in Iraq. On August 28, 2010, during his 3rd deployment in Afghanistan, he stepped on an improvised explosive device, or an IED, during a firefight. He was serving with Alpha Company, 22nd Battalion, 7th Special Forces Group. The blast took both of Lyle's legs above the knee and left him with shrapnel wounds, burns, and other injuries. When he arrived at Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio, he was on a ventilator and spent 6 weeks in intensive care, losing 6 more inches of his upper legs. Today, he has titanium legs. Lyle said his new service dog will be a vital help to him in his daily life. Spartan will pick up objects Lyles drops and help him balance. If Lyles falls over, Spartan will stand close and hold steady. If he gives me something to push off of to help me stand back up, the major said. Most importantly, Spartan will get between Lyle and people who rush up to him, creating personal space. Lyles, a graduate of Virginia Military Institute, will retire from the Army in August and plans to go on to medical school. He said his titanium legs have taught him a lot about what he can get through in life and heightened in value every minute he gets to spend with his children. Stevie is a good dog. He also has a special talent. He alerts caregivers when his little boy, Anthony Merchante, is going to have a seizure or has trouble breathing. Anthony's mother, Monica Alboniga, tried for 2 years to persuade the Broward County School Board in South Florida to permit Stevie, a trained service animal, to accompany the 7-year-old on campus, but the school administrators repeatedly said Stevie didn't belong at school, and they hoped that a Fort Lauderdale federal judge would agree with them. Instead, they got a scolding. The lawsuit progressed in federal court. The school board allowed Stevie to go to school every day, but administrators continued to fight the case. The district had always permitted the service dog at school, said the district spokeswoman Tracy Clark. Anthony suffers from a host of serious disabilities. He has cerebral palsy, spastic paralysis, a seizure disorder, and he cannot speak. To get around, he depends on a wheelchair, to which Stevie is tethered most of the time. Stevie can aid caregivers in a variety of ways. He can step onto Anthony's wheelchair and lay across the boy's lap. Once there, the dog is trained to help stabilize Anthony's head so his airway isn't impeded. Stevie was also trained to tell or alert human responders in the event that Anthony was experiencing a medical crisis. The dog can jump on a sensor mat that activates an alarm or bark to get the attention of caregivers. The school board said Stevie must obtain a host of vaccinations that rarely are applied to dogs, required Alboniga to obtain costly liability insurance, and mandated that she provide at her own expense a handler for Stevie. The requirements, said Alboniga's lawyer Matthew Dietz, amounted to an impossible barrier and violated federal civil rights that give preference to the choices of people with disabilities. Anthony found a friend in the U.S. Department of Justice. The department's Civil Rights Division enforces the Americans with Disabilities Act, landmark legislation passed by Congress in 1990. ADA regulations, which require that public entities generally must permit individuals with disabilities to be accompanied by their service animals. Caucasian Shepherd, or Caucasian Ovcharka, is the most brutal Russian dog breed. The strength and dedication of this dog has made it a popular working police and guard dog throughout Europe and the former Soviet Union states. In Russia, its usual name is Caucasian Ovcharka. That means sheepdog in Russia. The Caucasian Shepherd was used for centuries to guard flocks, kill wolves, hunt bears, and protect properties against trespassers and thieves. During the communist era, this severe dog guarded prisoners of the Soviet Gulag camp and served as a border patrol along the Berlin Wall. It was widely used by the Russian Army's kennels to develop new Soviet breeds. Being a fearless fighting dog, the Caucasian Ovcharka is still employed in some former Soviet republics for dog fighting along with the Central Asian dog. Dogs have been part of government and royalty for years. In the British royal family, Pembroke Welsh Corgis have been the favorite breed for over 70 years. Queen Elizabeth II has had more than 30 during her reign. In presidency, all of the presidents have had at least one dog, besides Donald Trump, which is the first president to be dogless. Dogs are also the best animal because, well, Exhibit A, this is my dog Max.